Good evening everybody, and once again welcome back to the video. In this video I wanna guide you through the steps on how you can set up AWS EMR on EC2 instance and start working with Apache Hudi on Spark notebooks. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So I'm gonna jump straight into action. I am on my AWS EMR, and as you can see I went to the button which says create cluster. Here, give your cluster name. I'm just gonna call it demo cluster. Select the EMR version. I'm using EMR 6.15.0. Select, of course, your application bundle. For now, I'm selecting Hive, Hadoop, Jupyter Enterprise Gateway, Jupyter Hub, Presto, Zeppelin, Spark, Hue, Livy, and H catalog, right? Again, you can select the appropriate items that you need, okay? Make sure to checkbox these because we're gonna use, our Glue would be used as our Hive meta store. So, so hopefully that makes sense. After that, cluster configuration. Since we are learning and just playing with it, we're gonna be using M5 extra large. And I'm not gonna be adding any task node because, it's again, we're just playing around. We don't need a task node for now, okay? Then going on the bottom section, so just one core node, one master node, and that's it, okay? Choose the VPC. After that, going down, rest everything could be default. The only thing that you gotta make sure is on the security configuration, make sure to select your EC2 key pair. I've already generated EC2 key pair prior to the video, so make sure to select that. For the roles, you can obviously click on create a service role, and in which case, the role will be created by AWS. I already have that, so I'm gonna probably select choose an existing role, okay? But if you do not have a role, you can click on create role, and then here you can select all S3 buckets. So again, it's gonna create the role for you. I already have it, so I'm gonna select the role that I already have, okay? And then that's it. I think that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna click on clone cluster. Now this will take anywhere between about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna resume the video once the cluster is in the waiting state. All right, after 15 minutes, the EMR cluster is finally in the ready state. Waiting means it's now waiting for your commands, okay? Now, if you open this up and if you head over here, so first of all, I want you guys to copy this URL or primary node public DNS, copy that. And what we will do is, let me just open up my IntelliJ IDE, put this one here, okay? Now, what we need to do is we need to SSH into the master. And what I'm gonna do is let me increase the font size, okay? Probably, is this good enough? I think so, it should be good enough, okay. So now CD desktop, gonna go to sawmill ls, excuse me, CD project ls. And here you can see that's my PIM file, right? So now what I will do, I would be SSHing into the master. Again, if you're using PuTTY, you can do that as well. But again, I have a Mac machine, so I'm gonna be using following command: SSH -i, the path to the PIM file. Hadoop is gonna be the default user and the host. Okay, so let's rock and roll. There you go. We are inside. Okay. Now, once we are inside the EMR, we need to configure. There are two ways. Either you can move the jar in a particular directory and then use that in the Spark notebook. So I'm gonna show you both the ways. So I'm gonna show you first way, which is, all right. So now you have to fire this command: hdfs dfs hyphen make directory -p apps hudi and lib. So put this one here, and this should create that directory. And now what we will do is basically we're gonna move the jar file. The jar file is inside user lib hudi spark bundle.jar. We're gonna basically, copying that jar into this particular directory that we just made. So we're gonna be doing that. So just copy that. So hdfs dfs minus or hyphen copy from local and the path and where you wanna copy, right? So back here, and should be done in a second or two. So let's wait. And it's okay. Now let's learn basically how to use Hudi in Spark notebooks. All right, so now are you ready to build your first Hudi data lake on Spark notebook? So let's get started. So hopefully you have done all the steps that I mentioned, and now what you can do is you can head over to the application section, and here you will see Jupyter Hub, right? Now what you want to do is you want to click on this button. See, it's going to ask your username and password, right? Now you want to put JOVYAN, and the password is going to be JUPYTER, and then hit sign in. And again, this will allow you to sign in. I had to search for a couple of posts for the default username password. Hopefully you don't have to struggle because I'm showing you in the video, so that makes sense, right? All right, so what's next? Tom will show me. All right, so now you're here. Now what you want to do is open up a new notebook. I already have a notebook, so I'm gonna open that up for you. Now we have to configure certain settings, right? So we're gonna say configure -f, and then we're gonna provide the path where our jar file is, okay? And then we're gonna say Spark serializer, that is equal to or.apache.spark.serializer.cryo-serializer. Again, just very default settings, right? So what I'm gonna do, simply execute this. So this will create my Spark session, and then I can create my Hudi transactional data lake in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, this is happening. I'm gonna go here, and again, these steps are gonna be given to you, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna copy this. This is again creating a sample Spark data frame, and then we're gonna insert, whatever you wanna call, into a Hudi data lake, okay? All right, so once hopefully this is configured, okay, now it's done. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this particular cell. This is gonna create a fake Spark data frame object, as you can see, right? Would take a couple of seconds. All right. Now, simple, right? We want to basically create a Hudi data lake, right? So pretty straightforward. So what I will do, standard settings, okay, copy. And again, I'll give you all these resources, okay, on the GitHub. So now I think just gotta change this to Spark DF. Okay, what are we doing, man? All right, so the record key is gonna be employee ID, which is my primary key, right? Then precom key as timestamp. My Glue database name is going to be HudiDB, table name going to be customers. This is the path where I want to create my Hudi transactional data lake. Table type is copy and write, method is upsert, and then just upserting into the Hudi data lake. So I am going to run this. Again, I don't have anything on S3, right? So once this is complete, you should see a folder called Hudi. All right, so now meanwhile this is running. Let's go to S3. Here you can see we see a Hudi folder, and we see some Hudi metadata and a base file or a Parquet file, and that looks good, right? So let me go back. So hopefully the cell execution has been completed. Yep, perfect, no errors at all. All right, so that was fun, right? So now let's learn, okay, now how you can query this data using Hue, right? So I want to show you, now we made a Hudi data lake, right? Now let me show you how you can use Hue to query this data. All right. All right, Samuel, show me, I'm interested. All right, well, very, very easy, man. Well, what you can do is head over to your EMR. I had Hue, so, I'm just gonna click here, right? Now this will bring me to the dashboard, and on the right-hand side, you wanna click Hive over here, right? And then here you should see your, databases. I'm gonna click on HudiDB, and here you can see I have my customers. Make sure on the top it says Hive, okay? Now I can say, hey, select everything from customers, right? And then I can run the SQL query. It's gonna query my data lake, and I can see my data over here, right? Fantastic, right? So you learned, okay, how you can spin up EMR cluster in a matter of seconds. And after that, we learned how you can use Spark notebooks to write your Hudi transactional data lake. We also learned, hey, how you can use Hue to query your data, which is sitting on S3. All right, so now you might ask, hey, Samuel, is there a way I can also query through Presto? Well, yes, I can show you. So now let me show you how you can query the Hudi tables using Presto as well. So back to my screen. Okay, so first we're gonna go inside user, lib and Presto. So I'm gonna do that. Come here. All right, now we're gonna go inside the bin folder. I'm again gonna show you through the Presto CLI, okay? So now I'm inside here, and now what I can do is simply invoke Presto CLI, and the Presto CLI will be started, okay? So now I can say, I want to connect to my Presto. I'm going to say connect localhost 8080, and then I can say show schemas from Hive, right? Here I can see my Hudi DB. Right now I can start running my ad hoc queries. So here, oops, oh, I have to select the catalog first. Okay, so let me do that. Yep, and now I'm gonna say select everything from hudidb.customer. So I should be seeing some data points. It says catalog must be specified when using catalog is not set. I think I already did, right? Didn't I? No. Let me see. Let me see. I had the command there. Yeah. Use hive.default. So that should have done the job for me. So now let me try again. Hopefully it should work. And yeah, works like a charm. So now, yeah, of course, I can query my data through Presto as well. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed, right? We spinned up an EMR cluster. We learned how you can configure Apache Hudi on that. We learned how you can build a Hudi sample table through Jupyter notebook. Then we learned how you can query data using Hue. We also learned how you can query data using Presto. Also, you can also connect through your local machine using a tool called dbbeaver, and you can start running SQL queries. You can also connect to your Power BI application using that JDBC URL. All of these make sense, and if you have any more questions, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So that's it for the video. Before we end the video, it's very, very important that we terminate the cluster, otherwise we're gonna get charges, right? So now let's go to, let's close all of these stuff, come here. Okay, so we're gonna come to EMR cluster and then come here and then click on terminate, and that's it, the project is ended. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna be seeing you in the upcoming next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with your coworkers and colleagues.